and I'm going to talk about some of the pieces that are in the Fez as Storyteller series. A lot of the work is based on my cultural history, but it's a legacy that's also psychological and societal. The reason I use the Fez is the foundation of the family. We are Iraqi Jews via Bombay, India. So that's a culmination of 3 old world cultures. And the Fez cap was what both grandfathers dealt in. They both traded and sold Fez caps to 2 different families. So I established that as the structural base, and I build on that structure to talk about things like gender bias, domination, vulnerability, and a host of other concerns. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about this piece, which is called Marriage Turban Fez, to have and to hold. This piece starts at the head with a turban. There's a Fez cap underneath there, but I wound the turban around the Fez cap. And you have a veil, much like a bridal veil. And on the bottom, a bride and 3 girls, three children. The children are depicted from infancy, which is along the back, to adolescence, but they don't go further than adolescence. They're tied to this turban, which is really the representation of the male dominating the family, especially the girls. Thus the title, To Have and to Hold. This piece is called Magic Carpet Ride. What you see is 3 very elegant, very graceful women who are family members of mine. The center woman is my mother. On this side, that's her sister. And on this side is her first cousin. The backdrop behind them is the rose window that belongs to the synagogue that my mother attended along with her relatives in Bombay. The writing in Hebrew is excerpted from a morning prayer, which the devout still say. And that excerpt says, "Thank you, O Lord, for not making me a woman," which of course is ironic given the grace and the stature of the women who are depicted. This piece is called Magic Carpet Ride, Little Maharaja. Central is a male figure, a young boy, and like satellites around him are grown women that are cast in these gold rings. The idea here is about gender bias, and particularly inherent not in the religion, but in old world cultures, of which all this is drawn from, where the male, no matter how young, is preferred, and women are, in a sense, not legitimate. They're cast to the side. This piece is the first piece of the entire series. Red Fez, boy, woman, bicolor. Bicolor was an area that my father grew up in. You'll see him sleeping under something called a bima, which is where they give the prayers on high holy days. You'll see him near the holy books, and you'll see a woman standing who's relegated to the upper levels because women were relegated to the upstairs galleries. They weren't allowed on the first floor of the Sephardic synagogue. So again, it talks about no matter the age, the boy is the preferential party, and women who are grown, vital, intelligent, and spiritual are relegated to the side. I started looking at myself in terms of myself and my 3 sisters, because we were all girls, no boys in this family, and that was a very important aspect of the world that we lived in the family. So that's what precipitated the shift in the work itself, and how that cultural legacy affected us as children and as females. But I wanted not only to be from my experience, but resonating in the outer world for other people to experience and recognize.